Coming in, you guys, it's day number 16 of my stay-batical to 50 journey. And no, I'm not out walking today. Most of the time when you see me go live like this in the mornings, I am out on my morning walk. But today, you guys, I am actually traveling to Orlando, Florida. So Orlando is the hosting site for the 7th annual Biohacking Conference. This is put on by my bud, Dave Asprey, and he literally gets the cutting edge of everybody who's anybody in the world of biohacking. Good morning, guys. Come on in. So no, I'm not out on my walk. I am actually in my car driving. I've been driving for a couple hours now, and I am headed to Orlando, Florida, and there's a big biohacking conference being put on by Dave Asprey. And since on this stay-batical to 50, I am doing a lot of different biohacks, including red light therapy, sauna therapy, ice baths, you name it. You guys have been watching what I've been doing. I thought it would be cool to go down to this conference, learn what some of the new cutting-edge biohacking is. So over the weekend, which includes tomorrow and Saturday primarily, it continues on Sunday, but I'm driving back. It's a good 8-hour drive for me to get to Orlando and then back home. So I will be leaving early Sunday. But the next 2 days, Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be at this conference seeing all the cutting edge stuff when it comes to biohacking. And so I want to share that stuff with you as I find it. Now, you guys know I got that Morozco Forge ice tank for the ice baths. It's on the way. It won't be here for another month, but they will be at this conference. And so they said, bring your swim trunks. We will let you get in the Morozco Forge for an ice plunge. And I'm like, I'm gonna last longer than most of those people because I'm used to being in a bathtub with ice. But yeah, I needed to get out of town, going a little stir crazy, being at my home, doing all the things. Now, what that means is today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, pretty much I will be out of my regular routine of doing all the things. So, but I will be doing a lot of walking on the conference floor. Obviously not today or Sunday because those are travel days, but on tomorrow and Saturday, most certainly, I'll be walking like crazy. Anybody that's ever been to a conference, you know, you do a lot of walking, and so I'll be walking that way. And plus, it's a biohacking conference. There's literally going to be opportunities to do all kinds of things, and so I'm kind of excited to see what's out there. And yeah, just to kind of observe what is going on in the world of biohacking. So if you are just joining us, no, I'm not out on my walk today because I am headed to Orlando, Florida. It's a good 8-hour drive for me for the 7th annual Biohacking Conference. Dave Asprey puts this on every year, and it's a really big conference all about biohacking and various things you can do. So I look forward to sharing a lot of that content with you guys so you can get a sense for what is the cutting edge. And if I add something new to my life through it, I'll definitely share those things with you as well. So, so far so good on the stay-batical. Still at it, still just doing all the things. I think sometimes it can get a little monotonous for some people, doing the same thing every single day, and especially if you don't necessarily see results really fast, you can get discouraged by that. And I have yet to be discouraged by the monotony. I have been discouraged by the way my body has felt and where I've needed some rest. I have been discouraged by injuries, but none of those things have stopped me. So biohacking, I'm wondering, are you guys into that? Do you do any biohacking yourself? And literally biohacking, for those of you unfamiliar with the word, it's literally anything you can do in your lifestyle that will create some kind of physical or mental or emotional benefit to your body. And so you guys know that on my stay-batical to 50, I'm doing a whole lot of things that are biohacks. Obviously, the walking is one. And so when I'm walking, I'm getting all the benefits that you get from walking. But even like the infrared sauna, when I get back from exercising on a walk or even some weightlifting exercise and then go into a sauna, what you're actually doing is you're continuing the benefits that you got from the exercise while being in a sauna. And so I know from my own work, being in a sauna lowers blood sugar, lowers inflammation. There's just so many great benefits that come from that. And then going from an infrared sauna over to like an ice bath, again, creates a lot of just amazing benefits for your health. This is why I'm so into biohacking. And some of them might seem weird. I remember the first time that I heard about grounding, where you're just standing barefoot in the grass and you're grounding with the earth, and you're like, what's this doing? But it's doing a lot more than you realize. Same with the red light therapy. I've got a Juve light, and I plan on going live in front of my Juve light at some point to let you see what that's all about. But red light, you're just standing in front of a red light panel, and you're like, what is this doing? Look, I know some of them might seem like, okay, what is it doing? But you just got to trust that it's doing. And I honestly believe some of the biggest reasons why I've had benefits so far on my sabbatical is because I've been doing all of these things. And I think when you do them in tandem and you find this like right mix of things that you like to do, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. It makes it a lot more doable, and you'll be able to be successful at your goals, especially if your goal is getting fitter, healthier, getting your mind right. Those are all the things driving me right now. Just so you guys know, I am driving through a little bit of rain right now, so you can see. Life is a highway, I'm gonna ride it all night long. Okay, enough of that. Rascal Flatts, sorry for butchering your song. But what's going on with you guys? Do you guys do any biohacking? I'm really curious. I would love to hear, are there things that you regularly implement into your lifestyle that you find give you benefit? I'm doing a lot of them on my sabbatical, but look, I'm always open to doing more things. I think the moment we stop learning and discovering new ways to enhance our health is the moment we stop getting healthy. We can definitely do specific things to help ourselves. And look, I'm doing a whole lot of things right now, attempting to help myself. Will I do those things forever, every day? No. But for this period of time, I'm doing them as much as possible. Dale wants to know, how's the ear? What did you put on it? So when I got home from the walk the other day, and those of you that don't know, I think it was 2 days ago, I was out on my morning walk, and suddenly I got attacked by a wasp, and he got me behind the ear. It actually was not inside the ear. It felt like it was inside the ear, but he was just under the ear, and it made my inside of my ear swell up, so I was kind of like not able to hear. When I got home, I pulled the stinger out. I could do it with my fingers, and it was a nice long little stinger. And no, I didn't put anything on it. I just went about my day, and then it cleared up. And so thankfully I'm not allergic to that kind of thing, or it might have been a far worse experience. But yes, painful in the moment. I did a whole post on social media using that as an analogy. You know, life can come up and sneak up on you and sting you at any moment. What do you do in those moments? And blah, blah, blah. Plus, it made for a funny video when you see me slapping my ear. If you didn't know the context of it, you'd be like, what's he doing that for? Patty said, I got a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor. I am learning a lot about how my body responds to different foods and combinations. That is a great biohack, Patty. Yes, so if you don't already test your blood sugar, get you this little CGM, the continuous glucose monitor. You can stick it on the back of your arm, and then on a whim for 2 weeks, at any moment of the day, you can just check where your blood sugar is. It's pretty amazing. I love CGMs. I've done blood sugar and blood ketone testing for so long that I don't really need to do it obsessively anymore like I used to, because I kind of pretty much know where I stand at all times. I'm I'm glad you're okay. Have safe travels. Thank you. So yes, if you're joining late, I am headed in this rainy, dreary weather that I'm driving in. I am headed to Orlando, Florida. Ooh, it's very foggy here. And so Orlando is hosting the 7th annual Biohacking Conference, and that's coming tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be actively walking the floor all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then I'm driving back on Sunday. But yeah, I had this opportunity in my schedule to drive today to get down there, be there Friday, Saturday, and come back on Sunday. And look, I think we need to constantly be looking for things to enhance our health. And that's what biohacking is all about. Kanish says, what's this about? Yes, I am going to a biohacking conference, Kanish, and I want to learn more. Like, I'm constantly a nerd looking at all kinds of things to better enhance my health and my physical body and my mental health. And Dave Asprey is like the guy that brings all of those people together in one place. He's done some online biohacking conferences. I remember during the pandemic, he did that last year. Well, they're back in person. They're going to be in South Florida. So I'm excited. I actually got a hotel room yesterday, and I was shocked. It's just 2 blocks away from where this venue is. I was shocked I could get a hotel for $100, like a nice hotel, Hampton Inn, for $100 a night. I'm like, all right. And then the gas to get there is going to be about maybe $80, $70, $80. I get there and back. And then food, they're going to provide food at this conference. And so I love how Dave put in the notes to everybody. He said, so if you're vegetarian or vegan, we will have options for you. For the rest of you, there will be plenty of meat. I was like, yeah. So I do plan on, by the way, staying on the eating plan for my stay-batical. I need to play it by ear about the fasting, though. I will tell you that before this trip today, I did break my fast at 20 hours because when I travel, I just know this about myself, and maybe you know this about yourself. When I travel, I tend to get hungry. And so I brought some pork rinds, and I brought some mozzarella cheese and pepperoni. I brought some pimento cheese. I've got little things that I can eat because the last thing I want to do is feel any kind of temptation that I need to stop somewhere and get some food of some sort. And so, and same with like any kind of soda. I'm sorry, there's a couple of cops, so I was trying to make sure there was nothing wrong. Stop, maybe get some kind of a diet soda or something. So I brought with me my cup and my Element. And so I'm using the Element as kind of my drink. I'm stopping and getting some cold water. I got the Fiji water a while ago, so I can keep having cold water to drink the electrolytes. And so yeah, I'm super excited, you guys. I've never been to a biohacking conference before. I've been to lots of keto conferences, paleo conferences, obesity conferences, but this one seems right up my alley because I do love the concept of biohacking, and I'm going to try to learn things that maybe I can teach to you guys. I am excited to get in the Morozco Forge. That is the cold tank, the ice bath therapy, because I'm getting one in about a month, will be delivered to my house. So I'll get to try it before I get mine. So that'll be interesting. That's the one that you plug it in and you can control the temperature, and they'll probably have it around 33, 34 degrees. And so I have never been able to get my full body underwater all at the same time, because as you guys know, my 4-foot bathtub and my 6'3" body, it ain't covering the whole body all at once. So, but I tolerate the cold really well. I know people, they freak out about, oh, I can't get cold. And I'm just like, give me all the cold. I love the cold. Kira says, when I travel, I don't eat. this has worked out for me because airport food kind of sucks. Yeah, look, I know the people that power through it and they fast, and more power to you. I don't know what it is about me and travel, but it always makes me hungry. And so I'm prepared, so I'm not tempted. And so that's what I did. But I hear you. I know a lot of people, I'll just fast on my flight. And it's like, okay, if you can do that, that's great. Not everybody can do that. Patty says, I love mixing the Element with sparkling water. Tastes like a soda. Yeah. Those of you that have not tried the Element, I've got some. I brought my raspberry salt. I love this stuff. So, little packet, and you just stick it inside of a cup. And so there's the cup I put it in. And yeah, if you want to get some, they give you a free sample of it. drinklmnt.com/Jimmy. And all you pay for is the shipping, and they'll send it right to you. Hello, Christina. Good morning. Be safe on your travels. I will. Look, I haven't been able to travel a whole lot of places. Like, I'm fish out of water this last year and a half, 2 years. I'm used to going to a lot of conferences, especially keto conferences. So it's going to be nice to finally get to go to a conference, not have to be a part of it as a speaker or anything, just going and being a participant. And I know I'll see some people there that I know and maybe that know me, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. I love to munch when I drive, says Ken Beth. Yes. I try not to munch when I drive because I equate that to the same thing that people do when they eat when they're watching TV. It becomes mindless. And so when it's mindless, you're not really eating because you're hungry. You're eating because you're bored. You're eating because you want something to do. And so, yeah, I try to resist that urge to munch. But I had different things right at about 2 hours ago. I brought a keto chow shake, and then I had a few pork rinds with some pimento cheese, and then I had some pepperoni with some mozzarella cheese. So I got enough food in that should hold my hunger until I get there. Looks like somewhere just past 1 o'clock Eastern is when I'm supposed to arrive. So, but travel does do that to me, makes me hungrier. And so for these next few days, you guys, while I'm traveling today at the Biohacking Conference Friday, Saturday, and then traveling home Sunday, I'm going to be out of my regular routine. And I thought about, okay, maybe I get up early tomorrow before the conference starts and I go and do a walk. But then I thought, then I'm going to have to walk the floor of the Biohacking Conference. Like, I don't know if I want to do a walk and then have to walk and then not be able to walk. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Friday I play it by ear. And look, if I find I'm not getting enough steps in at the conference, then I can go do a walk later that day or midday, probably when they're having a lunch break or something. So we'll play all that by ear. But I have no worries in my mind that I'm going to be able to get some things done this weekend vis-a-vis walking and other biohacking things. I'm sure there will be red light therapy there. I'm sure there will be, I know there will be the ice bath there, probably different saunas to try. What I'm looking forward to is some of the people teaching about breath work and changing up your breathing to try to give you benefits. Maybe some supplements like NAD, maybe some ozone therapy. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I have yet to try. And my bucket list, you guys, 2 things I want to have on my bucket list to get done as biohacks. One is a hyperbaric oxygen therapy tank. So if you guys have never heard of this, HBOT is what it's called, HBOT. And if you're insulin resistant, it's supposed to help heal some of that. They put people that are very bad sick into hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It's just a really good way to help heal the body. So I'm hoping somebody here has one of those that I can try. The other thing that I want to try that I actually found a place in the town over from me in Greenville, Greenville, South Carolina, is a float tank. I've always wanted to go inside one of these tanks where they literally deprive you of all sensory. So it's completely dark, it's completely quiet, although I do think they play some like light music or something. It's dark, it's quiet, you know, you're laying in water that's full of various minerals to help you float, and then you're floating, and so you feel like you're kind of falling through space. I've always wanted to do that. It's a release of a lot of emotional tension you might be having. It's obviously a physical release as well. I've heard people have good experiences in that, and I've heard people say it was terrifying. And so I don't know what would happen for me, but I would like to try that. So if they got one of those here at this conference, I'm also going to partake in that. So yeah, I'm actually excited because I don't know what to expect at this conference, but I'm assuming it's all the cutting edge biohacking stuff. And then you're going to have like-minded people who are used to doing all these biohacks as well. And obviously I'm someone very much into this topic, which is why I'm going to a whole conference about it. Plus, I haven't seen Dave in a few years. He came on one of my events one time about 5 years ago. And then I think I saw him at either Keto Con or somewhere, vis-a-vis like 2.5, 3 years ago. But it's been a while. Christina says, going back to yesterday, I found a place close to Columbia that does a DEXA scan for $70. There you go. That's beautiful. Good job, Christina. Yeah, and let me know if you have any questions about it. I've done quite a few DEXA scans, and that's something that's a biohack as well. Like, you can guess that you've gained muscle, you can guess that you're losing body fat, you can guess that your bone density is good, but the DEXA scan definitely does not lie. So I'll be anxious to hear what you think about your results. So yeah, guys, if you came in late, I am driving, not walking, obviously. This time of day, I'm usually on my walk, coming up towards the end of it. But I am headed, you guys, to South Florida, to Orlando, for a conference. It's the 7th annual Biohacking Conference that my bud Dave Asprey puts on every year. And man, he is on the cutting edge of all of this stuff. I don't agree with everything Dave shares and all the things that he talks about, but man, the things he does talk about that is interesting and helpful, yeah. So he's got his finger on the pulse of all this stuff, so real excited to see who he has coming. Kira says, I love the float tank, but you have to shower a certain way before you get in. It's very strict protocol to keep the water clean. Not sure if the conference would have a float tank. He was posted. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Unless they have a special preparation area for you to get whatever off your body. Although the ice tank, I don't think the Morosco Forge that they care about your shower habits. But I would hope if you're coming to a conference, you've at least bathed yourself before you got there. So you're not putting all your stinky winky bacteria into the water. But I know the Morosco Forge actually has a filter on it, so it's constantly filtering the water. So it's kind of self-cleaning. I think you dump it every couple months, but it cleans it in the moment. It's pretty cool. But yes, dude, biohacking is a thing, and it's something that I've been into for a little while. I did a podcast called the Keto Hacking MD podcast with a medical doctor, Dr. John Lemansky, and I did that for a couple of years with him. You can still find it wherever you listen to podcasts, but we talked about a lot of these things, and he was the one that really got me interested, Dr. Lemansky, in doing a series of stacked biohacks, like I'm doing on my sabbatical to 50. He was the one that kind of said, you know, it's cool to do these things in isolation, but if you do them in symphony together every day, watch the benefits roll up. And I was like, I mean, that makes sense, but it's a lot if you do all the things. So all these things that I'm doing, aren't necessarily a protocol he gave me, but it was based on a lot of the things we talked about on our show. I know Dr. Lemansky himself, he does the sauna, he does the ice baths, he does the exercise, he does the meditation, he does red light, he does all the things that I'm doing right now. And he gets the benefits out of that. And I think we don't need to knock things that seem weird to us because they might be the very thing that gives us health. I mean, think about the way people look at those of us that eat keto and carnivore. That seems weird to a standard American dieter. How do you just eat that? Where's your bread? Where's your carbs? How do you have energy? And so when you open your mind to there's other possibilities, it really does open a new world. And I think that's what biohacking did for me, was it opened a new world of opportunities, things to do. Like, I think diet and exercise has gotten way overemphasized. Not that they're not important, but when they're emphasized so heavily to the exclusion of all other things, you're just robbing yourself. And a lot of the biohacks, what they're doing is they're just reconnecting us with the way the world was before kind of a lot of the modern technology. And so, look, saunas are kind of mimicking what it would have been like without air conditioning and having to be in a warm place during the day that you would sweat. That was good for you. That sweat releasing the toxins from your body. And then there would be like a lake that would be very cold, and you would hop in the lake, and they did the ice plunges. In fact, when I went to Italy 2 years ago, I got to go to Italy. They actually have these places where people can go into a warm side that has warmer water, and then go on the other side, which had cooler water. And it was a thing. Like, they knew inherently putting your body to that one extreme to the other provided so many benefits. And until you do that on a regular basis, you don't realize the benefits. I can tell you the cold has become a favorite of mine, especially around going to sleep time, because it will relax you. If you guys have trouble sleeping and you're not able to fall asleep and get good sleep when you do sleep, try getting a cold shower before you go to bed. And I know that seems like, well, what are you talking about, Jimmy? That's going to be shocking. It's going to wake me up. Don't be surprised if you start making that a habit, that you start sleeping a lot better. And of course, I track my sleep with the Oura Ring. Been a big fan of Oura for a long time. They sent me the ring before they even released it to the market. Hey, we want to see what you think about it. And I just immediately loved it. And they continually improve upon it, add new things to the app. So I like it a lot. Last night, because I was getting ready for this trip, I needed to get up early. So this morning I woke up at 2 a.m. was my wake up. So I got right at just over 5 hours of total sleep, which doesn't sound like a whole lot. But if you go look at my stories on Instagram, you will see that 5 hours, of that 5 hours, 3 of the hours were REM and deep. And so getting the quality sleep is always going to be the key. And these hotel rooms, when I go stay in a hotel room, it's hit or miss whether I sleep well or whether I have a bad night's sleep. Sometimes I'm in these hotels and the bed is such that it hurts my back, and so I'm up writhing in pain in the middle of the night. Other hotels I stay in, I sleep like a baby. It's just, it's hit or miss. Sorry, it's getting really hard to see because of the rain, so I turned on my wipers a little more. But yes. Excited for this conference, guys. And I will probably, like I said, go live because stories, it'll start turning into microdots. So I'll probably do a series of live videos that will show you some of the new things that I find interesting, that I think you might find interesting. I definitely want to go live when I go in the Morozco Forge. I have a feeling you guys want to see me freeze my tushy off in the Morozco Forge. I think I'm going to do well in it. I know Joe Rogan, the first time he got in there, he was 1 minute and went, nope. But he's worked his way up to like 20 minutes. Now, you guys know I do a 60-minute ice bath at home, so I wonder how long I can stay in there. I bet they're going to have to kick me out. Because, yeah. But what's fun is while I'm in there, I'll have somebody from the Morozco Forge company right there who could maybe talk on camera to tell a lot more of the benefits of ice therapy. And, yeah. So who knows what I'm going to find at this conference. I am super excited because this is like biohacking Christmas. It's just get to see all the cool things. Yes, yes. So anybody else use any kind of biohacking techniques within your regular routine? Are there things that you found have given you benefit? Maybe it's some of the things I'm doing on my sabbatical right now, or maybe it's other things that I have not talked about. So what are those things that you use that are biohacking techniques? I would love to hear from you. Good morning, Sharon. Thank you for being here. Yes, I am going to the trip. I was a little worried, Sharon, when I took that fall on Saturday and the way my left ankle felt. I was worried I wouldn't be able to go because I wouldn't be able to walk around. And it's like, ugh. But I've been testing my ankle the last couple of days, been walking up and down stairs, and very little pain. It's a little pressure. I can feel it tweaked, but very little pain. So I am going to go. I'm driving to get there today. The conference starts tomorrow, and it's all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. Well, I'm coming back Sunday. So, yes. And yes, the bee sting, yes. As I noted earlier before you got here, I pulled the stinger out, and then it subsided. It was in pain for about 6 hours after I got stung. So you guys saw in real time on camera just how much in pain I was. That was real pain. I don't want that kind of pain. That's a little tough. So interested in what you're doing. Thank you. I'm excited for this conference. So yes, I'm going to a conference, Orlando, Florida, Biohacking Conference put on by Dave Asprey. Dave has all the connections to everybody who's anybody in the world of biohacking. And look, he was very kind. His people reached out to me recently, and they said, hey, you're a former guest on Dave's podcast, which I've been on 3 or 4 times, Dave's podcast. You're a former guest. We would like to extend to you a complimentary VIP ticket to the Biohacking Conference. And I was like, wow. So I look it up, and that ticket's like $2,100. I was like, all right, Dave, I see what you're doing there. So then I looked up what it costs to stay in a hotel. And so I'm a Hilton Honors member. So I looked up the closest Hilton concept hotel, and I found the Hampton Inn, like literally 2 blocks away. And the Hampton Inn was like $100 a night. I was like, yeah. And I got a nicer room too, the kind of double room where it's a big king size bed, and then it's got like a sofa, and it's really nice. I like those kind of rooms. And so it's really pouring down rain, you guys. Look at this. It is pouring down rain. Ooh, I can barely see. I'm going to slow down. I can't see, Captain. I can't see. I hear it's supposed to be raining like this all the way down. So, yes. But yes, got a nice hotel on the cheap. The car ride down is about 8 hours, so it's going to cost me maybe $75, $80 in gas. And then they're providing food for us, but I'll probably eat out a couple times, so that's probably another $50 or so. So yeah, very economical for me. And quite frankly, I've missed like going to conferences. Like, I don't know about you guys, but the conferences were like my lifeblood every year. I'd go to 5 or 6 of them. And last year, obviously none. And this year, I've been to a couple of meetups, or three meetups, but no conferences. This is going to be my first conference. I know there's a few keto conferences that are happening, that have happened. And then there's one coming up in Las Vegas, which I was invited to, but then I just got notification this week that because everybody's scared of the big bad black plague out there, that they're actually shutting down the vendor area, and it's going to be a very scaled back conference, so they're not going to invite me anymore. So kind of bummed about that. That sucks, but it is what it is. It's the world we're living in. Kira says, I tested with salted water 2 hours before jiu-jitsu versus plain water, and salted water gave me the better performance. It was supposed to increase blood volume. Have no way to measure blood volume. Yeah, I love my salt water. And used to, on these trips, I would feel like I needed to have a diet soda or maybe a sugar-free energy drink or something like that. And I'm proving to myself today, thanks to this Stay-Batical to 50, I don't need those things when I travel. I've only told myself I need those things. So I love that I'm kind of breaking new territory here, breaking new ground of changing paradigms in my mind. Because I've always said, well, I'm traveling, so that's my excuse to have a diet soda. That's my excuse to have a sugar-free energy drink. But not anymore. Not going to do that. Not going to do it. Can't wait to see what you learn. Thank you, Sharon. You know I'm going to definitely share with you guys any nuggets of truth that I find. Maybe you need to drive. My mom, Jean, is switching on. Berkeley, thank you. And yes, you are definitely my mom's age, and you followed me long enough. You can mommy me. But I am very much paying attention to the road, I promise. It was just that momentary where the water was coming down really hard, the rain. Got an email saying that KetoCon in Austin will happen next July. Look, they did that for this year too. They said it was going to happen, and then it didn't. So until the world stops being crazy, I don't know what to believe anymore regarding what's actually going to happen and what's not going to happen. The world is a very different place than it was just 2 years ago, sadly. But I think we're all missing connection, human connection. I was just talking to my friend Brittany this morning about going to this conference, and I said, you know, I'm going more than anything. Yes, I want to learn about the biohacking stuff, and I want to get nerdy with all of that. But quite frankly, I miss people. Like, I get to see you guys, but I see your username and your picture. And it's not quite the same as seeing somebody in person, getting a hug, having that connection. Like, I think we have robbed ourselves this past year and a half, 2 years of our humanity. And look, I don't want to participate in that anymore. I think the moment we lose humanity, we lose every part of ourselves. And I don't want to be a part of a world where there's not humanity anymore. And if it means that I'm going to do things that defy what everybody wants you to do, then so be it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm your mama's age too, so be careful. Hey, I love my mama. She's a proud 71-year-old and still kicking, so nothing wrong with that. Sharon is trolling me now. You know I love you, Sharon. Yes. It is what it is, but I'm interested. Anybody into biohacking, what are the things that you do? And don't make this complicated. Do you fast? You're biohacking. Do you eat keto and carnivore? You're biohacking. Sharon says, I'm 77. Yeah, so you're older than my mom. Are you doing any kind of movement at all? Just anything? You're biohacking. Are you deep breathing? Are you going to yoga? Are you meditating? You're biohacking. So what are those things that you do? What are the regular habits that you find have helped you? Or here's another question for you to answer. Is there something you've heard about regarding biohacking that you want to learn more about? I'm about to go to the biggest conference in the world all about biohacking. What should I be on the lookout for that you've heard about that you would like to try? And I'm going to be controversial here, but one of the things I would like to try that I've heard a ton about is microdosing and kind of medicinal mushroom microdosing. Now, I know some people have a hissy fit when they hear that kind of thing, but hear me out. So the microdosing it's not to get you high, it's to give you just enough of it to enhance your cognitive ability. Like I have a pretty good brain, the way it works and everything as it is, and it doesn't forget things, and I'm good at what I do because I can recall things when I'm interviewing people. But what would it be like with a little microdosing? I don't know if they're going to have anything like that here, but that's something that definitely interests me. I do carnivore and fast, didn't know that's biohacking. Yes, Debbie, anything that you do that's a stimulant to your body or your mind is considered biohacking. Like literally anything. Kara says, I can hook you up with healing fungus. Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating to me how a lot of things that have been helpful or traditionally been helpful to us are now vilified so heavily. Like, look what they did to saturated fat for the longest time. And they still do to a lesser extent. But it's still there. You still got people scared of saturated fat. And then the whole, the idea of mushrooms, even in microdosing, it just seems odd to people. I would also like to try NAD. That's something else that I know has given a lot of people benefits. And so biohacking really does kind of push you to try things that can enhance you. And look, I think the moment that anything you do becomes a detriment is the moment you realize that's not a biohack for you. If it causes detriment, only if it enhances your brain power, your physical body, your health markers, your metabolic health, your gut health. All of these things is what biohacking seeks to enhance and make better. And I think the moment we stop looking for things that do that is the moment we kind of fall into the trap of, okay, I guess this is as good as it gets. And I don't believe that. I think we're constantly having new revelations made about what makes us healthy, and implementing some of these biohacks, I think, is a part of that. Look, one of my goals with the Stay Batical to 50 is to not only prove to myself I can do that. It's not only to provide kind of the physical body change, the mindset change, the things I've been talking about have been my goals. I also want to show people, hey, look at the power of things beyond food. Yes, food is a part of this, and periods without eating is a part of this journey. But I want to show people, hey, you think that red light therapy is a little crazy and voodoo. Look at what it helped to do. You think standing in the ground and your grass in your backyard barefoot isn't doing anything, but that grounding, I want to show it does good things. You don't think those ice baths are providing great benefits. Let me show you. And so that's one of my goals in this. Now, some will probably argue at the end of the 100 days, and let's just say, I have dramatic results in the changes I want to see. They'll say, well, it was just the carnivore and the fasting that provided it. All that other stuff was just window dressing. And I talked about this the other day, a very prominent figure in the keto carnivore space. You would know this person's name, but the other day, this person was being interviewed on another podcast, and they said that, well, if you want to see changes in your health and your weight, 90% of it is diet. 10% is all that other stuff. And I thought, well, that's kind of a arbitrary, subjective, stupid way to look at it. Like, yes, I think the vast majority of people do see incredible benefit when they go on a carnivore, keto diet, or real food-based diet. I think that is a great foundation. But to say that diet is 90% of it literally is a slap in the face to all of us who have eaten that way for years, and we haven't reached various goals that we have for ourselves, for our weight, for our health. And so I hate that kind of mentality, because it negates the individual response. It negates what got you there to be overweight or obese to begin with. If we all lived in a vacuum where X strategy led to X weight loss, then that person would probably be right. Alice says, Dr. Fung says it's 95%. And see, I mean, he's not the one I'm referring to, but see, that's the kind of thing that I think is horrible, to say 95% of your health is your nutrition. And you guys know I'm the keto guy. I believe the ketogenic diet is extremely powerful. I think implementing a carnivore diet can invoke a lot of great benefits to your body. But let's not pretend like it's 90 to 95% of what it takes to get healthy and get fit. Those people have never lived in a body where it's frustrating doing all the right things and not seeing any movement, and God forbid, seeing weight gain. I'm starting to see more and more people in the keto and carnivore space now addressing what's going on if you're experiencing weight gain on keto or carnivore. I love that that's becoming a topic now, and it's something I have talked about for many years, that we've got to stop pretending like when you eat a certain diet that that's going to fix all your woes. Gary Taubes used to say in a lot of his talks, and it used to piss me off to no end. I told Gary this one time. It pissed me off to no end when he would say, oh, well, just eat low carb and you will have effortless weight loss. I'm like, Gary, stop. Because you're telling people that if they don't see effortless weight loss from eating low carb, that there's something wrong with them, or something that they're doing wrong. So it sends a bad message. Again, foundation of whatever biohacking you do should always be a really good, clean diet. If it's paleo, if it's primal, if it's keto, carnivore, you figure out what that diet is that's right for you and make that your foundation, and then add in these biohacks. I hate this notion that, okay, well, let's just get the diet in and that's most of it. Okay, do those little things and it'll be little incremental changes. No. I think the walks that I've added on this sabbatical to 50 has been really instrumental in my success so far. But then just the commitment to all the other things, they all are adding up to really good things. Apart from my diet, apart from the fasting and everything, those things are giving me much greater than a 10% benefit. Kira says, I think they say it's mostly nutrition because people hate exercise, and this gives them hope to just start with cleaning up the diet first and add movement later. Okay, we'll say that then. Like, if that's truly what they believe, that they're trying to say, okay, get the diet right and then you don't have to worry about the exercise as much. And Gary has said that. Gary's like, yeah, exercise really doesn't help with weight loss. It helps tone, it helps cardiovascular health, but it doesn't really help with weight loss. And he got in a lot of trouble when he started saying those kinds of things, because people like Jillian Michaels and others are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, look, I think you might be onto something, Kira, that if they say it's mostly nutrition, then you'll put the focus on it. Whereas people think they have to go run 5 miles on a treadmill while they're changing their eating habits. And I don't believe that's true either. But just be honest with people, and I think they'll respond. Alice says, I agree with you. Those words add to the mentality of, if it's not working for you're doing it wrong. I feel broken when they say this. Yes. See, I think that discourages more people when you say eat low carb and it's effortless weight loss, or 90 to 95% of your health and weight is determined by your nutrition. I'm sorry, I don't buy that anymore. I might have bought that at one point, but I don't buy that anymore. Is it a significant portion? You bet it is. Like, you can't out-exercise, you can't out-biohack a bad diet. So get a good diet. But then once you get the good diet, you add in these other things. Can a lot of people see great success just with diet and maybe a little movement? Yeah, I think the vast majority. But then you're neglecting the people that have a little more reticence to weight loss and a little more difficulty in getting blood sugar and insulin down and inflammation down. Those are the people where that extra 5 to 10% of things that I'm doing during my sabbatical can help. Meditation, cold therapy, sauna, red light, grounding, all of the things, they really do add up to good health modalities to help you. So guys, if you came in super late, you might notice I'm not out walking today. Generally when I come on live in the mornings, I'm out walking. But today, I am in my car driving from my hometown of Spartanburg, South Carolina. I am heading down, where am I? I-95 right now, on my way down to Orlando, Florida. Dave Asprey is putting on his big Biohacking Conference. He does this every year. This is his 7th annual Biohacking Conference. And so anybody who's into biohacking is going to be at this conference, all the vendors, all the cutting edge technology when it comes to biohacking. And so I'm asking the question today, what are some of the biohacks that you use in your lifestyle? What are things that you do to try to move the needle in your health, in your weight, and really your mental capacity? Do you do things specifically? Tell me about them. I would love. Or is there something that you're interested in that you've heard about in the realm of biohacking that you want me to try to focus in on while I'm there? I'm literally going to be a roving reporter with my iPhone, going around and looking at things that look interesting, and I'm going to go live and show you. So get ready for a crap load of content the next couple of days. Friday and Saturday, I will be going live and trying to bring as much of this conference to you as I possibly can. I'm not sure what the rules are yet on some of the lectures and things. I don't know if Dave prohibits you from videoing even a portion of it, but if I can get portions of some of the lectures, I will definitely try to bring that to you as well. So some people might be wondering, so are they requiring a vaccination or a Black Plague negative test? So they are not requiring the hokey pokey, but they are requiring a negative test. And so they're going to have a fast, one of the quick tests right there on site. So when you go to register, you can either show them that you got it within the last 3 days, a test done and it was negative, or they do it right there on the premises. And that's it. So that was cool. And I know Dave is very letting you make the choice when it comes to the hokey pokey. So I knew he would not hold a conference where they would require it. Plus, this is Florida. Florida is very open right now. Yeah, don't get me off on the hokey pokey and the Black Plague right now, because there's so many things happening with that are just wrong. But I will leave it right there. So nobody does any biohacking, huh? Tell me what your biohacks are that you enjoy, that you implement, that you think gives you great benefits. Tell me about them. I would love to hear, or something that you want to learn more about. Let me know, and I will be happy at the conference to try to seek out that info. Sharon says the red light therapy is so interesting to me. And Sharon, it is to me too. I stand in front of my Joovv light. Joovv is the name brand that I use, and I've got the full body one. And so you turn it on, and it's just a bunch of red light. And you're thinking, okay, what is this doing? And I think what it's doing is it's trying to reverse a lot of the damage of the blue light. Think about this device I'm talking to you on right now. This thing is emanating so much blue light. Think about a television you're watching, especially at night. So much blue light. We're surrounded by blue light. Think about the fluorescent lights in your office where you work or in your house. That's blue light. This is why getting outside, getting natural sunshine, and getting red light is just so critical. I can tell you that I do the red light therapy somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes before I go to bed. And so after I get out of the ice bath, I will go in front of my red light. And people are like, is it hot? Does it emanate heat? Yes and no. I would say that when I'm next to it, it's not obviously like hot. It's not going to burn you if you touch the panel. But as you stand there, you do feel kind of this effervescence of warmth come over your body. It's a pretty cool sensation, and it's nothing that's like alarming. You're not cooking yourself or anything like that, so I wouldn't worry about that. But I usually stand in front of mine completely naked to get full skin exposure to all the parts. When I twisted my ankle the other day, I had it right up against the red light, along with some CBD oil. And I'll turn my face towards it because I'm starting to get breakouts and things on the face. I know a lot of that's the body detoxing as I'm losing weight. So I'm having breakouts on my face. I'll put the red light therapy on it. It's supposed to like rejuvenate a lot of your cells. It's just fascinating. So if I can find a red light specialist, Sharon, at this conference, which I assume there will be somebody from the Juve Light or other companies, then I will definitely have them explain more about what the red light is specifically doing. But yeah, so anybody else got a biohack you either use currently and it gives you great benefit, or one that you have been curious about and you want to learn more about, I am headed to this big biohacking conference down in Orlando, Florida. Dave Asprey putting it on. If I can catch Asprey for 2 seconds, I will probably get him on camera to have a little mini interview, or at least say hi on a story. So I'm assuming, because I've run conferences before myself, when you run the show, you don't have a lot of extra time for stuff. But everybody wants your time. When you run the show, everybody wants your time. So we shall see on that front. But all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me here today on my travel day, going to this biohacking conference. I do miss my walk today, but it looks like had I walked, it would have been very rainy today. So I don't know if I would have turned on my camera because it would have been all soaking wet by now. But anywho, got to talk to you today. Look forward to lots and lots and lots of content coming to you over the next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys when I pop on at the conference. Bye, everyone.